what are we producing? Pretty much just Royal Knights, Archers, Springalds, Mangonels, of course.
They're doing the bonus damage.
Ooh, Springalds sniping my trebuchets. But we've got our own Springald forward now. So what if we just put the keep down here and then started mining this gold? 200 pop, suddenly you've got an insane economy. Hey everyone, glad to see you tuning back in. We've got ourselves a team game. Hopefully you've been enjoying all the 1v1s that have been on the channel lately. I occasionally do queue up for team matches still, and we've got a long one. I'm playing as the Ottomans. I have my French ally, CC, and I've also got opposing us an opposite opponent. Looks like some kanji. Wish my wife was here. She could maybe tell me what these are. And then W8 or Wait, playing as the French down here. And we're on the pit. This is a pretty aggressive map, though it can be easy to assist your ally if they're under attack, because the distance between your allied bases are really short. So it's difficult to completely smash one opponent on this map, because, I mean, you can always just send your forces over to assist. Going up against an opposite in French, I'm absolutely happy to put down the military school. We'll use that to produce spearmen, and we'll just try to put some pressure on the stone or the gold for the opposite. And you can see, looks like 240 stone already gathered. Would love to get over here and prevent more of the stone from being gathered. I believe we did see, yep, the eco wing coming down for the opposite. Really, we want to prevent them from reaching that, I think it'd be 520 stone. 520 stone means they can put down 2 town centers. With what they've currently got, they can only produce 1. We're going to wrap around. Really, we got to see if they gather up wood, though the second town center may already be on the way. It's very possible. Though we're trying to scout around. I suppose it wouldn't be too crazy for a second town center to go down right here. My French ally, trying to see what kind of pressure he can put on. French v. French is always very cutthroat. You never know what's going to happen. It could just be a sudden slaughter of villagers, or it could just be Royal Knights duking it out for a while. Yeah, you can see Knights meeting back up. Oh, way to soak up the charges with your scout, but oh, okay, there. The second town center has gone down. That's good to see. Yep, they got the cheaper economic buildings upgrade. Looks like we just got our Vizier point. We're going to get the Anatolian Hills. Gives us some extra sheep here. Looks like my French ally and the French opponent are just going to be going back and forth. Oh, I'm glad to see my my traders out. Decided to go for the Sultani trade network. Figured if my ally can keep putting on pressure, maybe no one will notice these traders moving back and forth. Let's see how much they're bringing back. It's like 95, and that's without the trade bags, so pretty cool. You can see we've surrounded the opposite opponent, but he is putting down a battering ram. Going to use that to knock down all of my outposts that I've got harassing his resource gathering points. And I wish, yeah, we should really get this villager in. Yep, now we can take shots at all these villagers. Very nice. Maybe we'll get a villager kill. Oh, yep, looking like 1 or 2 right there. Nice. And it looks like we may even knock down this house. That's great. But here come the battering rams. We can empty out the outposts to try and stop the battering rams, but I doubt that's going to happen. And with these Royal Knights showing up, I think my harassment has come to a close. Good to see my spearmen gain in here. Might even get some more villager kills here. Although the villager kills aren't as important, since there's definitely a second town center around here somewhere. Could be tucked away, hidden somewhere. Glad to see my French ally getting out on the map. Definitely want to grab up these resource points. Although we just saw some Royal Knights sweep through here, Wouldn't be a surprise if they suddenly find these berries being gathered. Yep. And here go those villagers. Yep. Very dangerous for my ally here. I really think maybe an outpost would have been good there. Here come the Royal Knights to scare those off. And now he's thinking, well, where can I get... Oh, look at all these villagers. Oh, what a find. Way to go, French ally. Big pickups there. Finding even more villagers. They can't all retreat into the town center. Yep, definitely doing good work here. Though here comes that cavalry. And now I'm running into a bit of an issue because I'm being pressured by the Abbasid. And it looks like, yep, with those infantry, he can just start putting down battering rams. He knows he can put on pressure here. He has a stronger economy than me, and he's definitely invested in some production. You can see he's gone this 1-1-1 build, barracks, archery range, stables, and is now just going to put on pressure. He's going to knock down all of my military structures. Really what I want to do here is thin out the spearmen numbers, because then my French ally can come in here and help out. We did age up behind all this. We're the first one to age up. And this we like to see, the knights taking out the archers like that. But this is not what we want. This is bad. This is bad. This is spearmen engaging with all the royal knights, and they're all dead. That was really bad for my ally. I really think CC should have paid attention here, targeted the reinforcing units, avoided spearmen at all costs. I mean, we did live, but we lost all of our military production here. Now we're trying to clean up these... Oh, don't want to lose that mater. We're trying to clean up these battering rams. We don't really have the range units for, or the melee units for it. Though we are getting out our castle age units. That's pretty good. And more French Royal Knights just not cutting the mustard against the opponents. Although good upgrades from my ally. Love seeing that for CC. Looks like the Abbasid opponent can start aging up and just has. Let's take a look at income. Yeah, the Abbasid absolutely running away with it. So much food being gathered. Likely finding, maybe taking these berries, probably going for these deer. Wouldn't be a surprise. But the food income is just very remarkable. Myself, I am trickling in some stone. I like seeing that. We're going to need that for reconstructing our military schools, maybe getting some walls up, or making our second town center. But really what we're taking advantage of here is the relics. We used our Vizier point to get our 2 imams, and now we're just tucking relics away as quickly as we can. And I'm glad we're grabbing those relics off the map, because it looks like we're rapidly losing map control. That's a big standing army from the Abbasid. And now that they've hit the castle age, they're going to be getting a lot of unit upgrades. Good finds here. Looks like the Royal Knights doing good damage to the French opponent. And you can see weight is at basically no income. But here comes spearmen. Really do not want to engage these spearmen. That's a lot of dead Royal Knights. Yeah, cleaned up the spearmen, but oof. Fortunately, both of our economies are running right now. For the French opponent, there's just nothing going on except some gold gathering. And probably doesn't need the gold. Yeah, sitting all the way up at almost 2k gold. See how we're spending our resources. I've got some excess wood. Really need to put down more unit production, although we're getting it. And look at the relics. We've already got the 3 secured, and we're looking to grab even more. There's the 4th coming in. Oh, that is a scary looking army from the Abbasid, and it looks like they went military wing for the Castle Age. So all of these units have increased health. Very scary. How are we doing on upgrades? Our ranged units are doing better. But we really just need to keep producing. We need to spend. We're doing a good job of it. We're getting house blocked, and we are going for a second town center. Really want to see our ally CC make it to the second age. Looks like just running into a bit of a farm transition. That's the issue for my ally. But also not seeing really any unit diversity coming from my ally. It's pretty much just Royal Knights. And I mean, it's working out somewhat. He is getting lots of villager kills, but whenever he engages en masse with spearmen, it just does not work out. There's CC making it to the Castle Age, but look at this Abbasid army just waiting for me. I'm glad we've got the Imam in the mix. He's providing a lot of healing. We've got a bit too many Maters. We really just need one here. Again, glad to see the Imam here, but there's just too many units. They've all got that increased health, and we are seeing Camel Riders, which do well versus my cavalry, though I don't really have any more at this point. Really, I need lots of archers to take on this army. And look at all of the battering rams just going to work. Though, look at these French knights. They're killing off all these villagers and burning down this town center. Weight is just crippled. Me, I'm trying to survive here. Once again, I'm asking my ally, hey, can you bail me out once again? Like, I'm really under attack here. Though I do have a decent number of units, although it is a lot of Maters. We do have archers firing away, but look at just the flood of units, the income from the opposite opponent. Yeah, it's insane. He's getting so many resources. Yeah, his economy is just far and ahead. Sure, weight is completely gone, but we need to see more economic activity coming from CC. CC's at maybe 1.8. I'm at about 2 and a bit in terms of total resources, whereas the opposite opponent's almost at 3k. So I'd really like to see more coming from CC. I did get a keep down, but it's not doing so well because of all of the battering rams. We're going to hide villagers in here, and now we're just really starting to suffer in our economy. Though we've transitioned a lot of our economy to this side of the map, and we do have the traders going back and forth. And we did get the saddlebags, so they're returning 133 gold. But look at that. Opposing keep already on the way. And look at it. It's all infantry. All these man-at-arms with their plus 23 health. Like, I just cannot go up against these units. I need crossbowmen. Janissaries are okay. I don't think that's an awful idea. But yeah, we definitely want our veteran archers coming out. Yeah, we need crossbows, archers, and we also need siege because he is getting mangonels out. Sacred Site's starting to go the way of our opponents. Look at this, the French, my French ally getting into the base, but these knights aren't really targeting villagers down. They're engaging on the wrong units. They really need to get into these farmlands. We really need them to not just attack random military production. We don't want them to engage with these spearmen. Yes, over here, over here. This is what we want to see. Get them into the farmlands. Don't worry about... Okay, they're just going to attack this mill. More French knights, again, trying to pause the economy there. And I like this forward keep. That's pretty good. Would love to see this these palisade gates knocked down. Over here, finally, the knights are rolling in, although battling under this keep does not seem like a good idea, especially because once the knights clean up these units, there's nothing else that's really going to happen, because then we're going to have to deal with the keep. Granted, I do have a battering ram here. I can start working on this. But yeah, here come more units. Here come more man-at-arms. And again, my ally is just not making anything except Royal Knights. I really need to see some unit diversity here. Some Arbaletriers would be incredible here. Arbaletrier and archers would be great. And I am losing the last of my landmarks. Looks like Waite has figured out how to get his food economy going again. My wood and gold economy is still doing strong. Look at how much gold I have. It's just been from these mosques giving me some passive gold income from those relics that I picked up. And of course the traders going back and forth. Though that's about to come to an end with the Sultani trade network going down. So now my caravans, these traders, they just can't return any gold. We're trying to protect the mosques. We don't want to lose the relics in them, but that's probably going to happen. There's just too much infantry here. We are seeing that French production going down. Finally, we're seeing the archery ranges pushing out Arbaletriers. And we want to see CC spending those resources. Really just making Arbaletriers would be great right now. And granted, I just exchanged all of my gold in for food and wood. We're going to try and use that to rebuild what we've got and continue our production. If we look at income, yep. opposing opposite still at about 3k income. CC's finally really putting the pedal to the metal. Like, this is a whopping 3k resources as well. Me, I'm at maybe 2k, 2 and a bit. So we are kind of, our economies are starting to be really strong. It's partly because CC is getting all this gold from the center here. He's just really been focused on mining out these golds in the center, which has been great. I mean, look at this engagement here. But again, these Royal Knights, it's been obvious that our opposite opponent is just producing all of these spearmen. So we need archers, we need man-at-arms. The Arbaletiers are doing great work here, but I think the Royal Knights are just kind of being a waste. And now we're seeing units just kind of dying to the keep. We don't want that to happen. We've got a trebuchet out and we've got a ram out, so we can take down the keep, get our base secured again. And yeah, now CC's economy is kind of fluttering a little bit here. There's some horsemen coming into his base. Looks like French horsemen. If he had some barracks, anything, just a few spearmen, a few man-at-arms, I think that would have been a big difference here. Also would have loved to see more walls. I didn't really get a chance to wall up here, but that would definitely help. Would love to see a wall across this section of the map. As much as the keep is helpful, it's not really preventing horsemen from just running into the back lines and killing off traders or killing off some of these villagers working these farms. Once again, my economy is, I'm attempting to stabilize it, but we're at maybe 1.2. Weight is back up to about 1.6, so the French opponent is back. And I'm going to be losing villagers up here. Looks like we can't mine from this large gold vein anymore. And it's because there's this annoying little land gap here. Usually this doesn't spawn on the pit, but there is a tiny gap here. So while I did wall these sections off, the opponent was actually able to just walk right in. Kind of ridiculous, if you ask me. A really annoying map gen issue there. Let's check out current resources. Who's spending well? Nice. CC's really spending and really focused on getting this gold vein down. And he's spending the gold really well. That's what we like to see. Though I don't see any siege units coming out. Would love to see some siege units come from CC. And man, again, I'd love to see some walls. We're just not preventing units from just streaming across the map. This is good. We're finally combining our forces here. And with some man-at-arms in the mix, we can actually push forward. Yep, cleaning all that up. And finally, yeah, there's a French siege unit. There's got to be a siege workshop somewhere back here. And I would love to see maybe like an outpost down here just to start harassing all of these villagers that are working over here. And yep, there are those French spearmen. My French ally CC just cannot deal with a random spearman mass because he just makes lots of Royal Knights and then that's it. Yep, more infantry. Would love, again, some just man-at-arms. Man-at-arms and spears would do really well here, but instead the French Knights come forward and just get destroyed. I'm not sure why I'm coming forward here. I should really be backing off. Yep, there we go. We're backing away. Let's check incomes again. Wow, the opposite opponent is now up at maybe 3. Whoa, almost 4K. I'm struggling to get above 1.2. And CC, maybe in the 2.5. Yeah, maybe the 2.5 range. Really not taking advantage of all these different resources on the map. Would really like to see more trade coming down. I would love to just see wall ups. Really could use some walls. And I don't have the production to really fight this back. It's great that I'm getting the relics back in a mosque. It's great that I've produced so many town centers. I'm getting more and more villagers, but my income is just not there. And gold is hard to come by now. I'm realizing that I needed to wall this up, and then we'll go back to mining this gold vein. But it looks like a lot of opposite units heading our way. And wait, the opposing French player finally makes it up to the castle age, though income is basically gone for the French opponent because more Royal Knights are getting in here. I'm going for a Wololo, and I convert a huge mass of his spearmen, which is great. We need these spearmen to deal with all the horsemen that are heading our way. And yeah, we're already leveraging them right there. So that Wololo felt really good. It's maybe buying us a little bit of time, but you can see one player's economy is just completely outclassing the other two. It doesn't really matter what Wait's economy is at, though. Man, look at all these farmlands back here. Really, they need to wall up this center area. Of course, my units are falling to the opposite opponent. I'm going to lose all my landmarks again. Still trying to produce, but I need siege units. Just look at this massive crossbowmen. We need mangonels, something to take on this massive range units, or just horsemen. Horsemen would be great, though, again, the spearmen have just continually been produced. And would love to see some barracks from my ally CC, but I think this might be the game. Yeah, now that the opposite player has made it to the Imperial Age, we're going to see a lot of great technologies coming from them. Because if you think about it, opposite going into the Imperial Age, that's a lot scarier than my French ally making it to the Imperial Age. Again, these Royal Knights are just going to run into big clumps of spearmen and just get stabbed down. I mean, good attempts from CC to deal economic damage. I do like those moves. It does disrupt them, but I don't know. I think the opposite now out there in the Imperial Age, we're going to see some elite upgrades. We're probably going to see like elite spearmen. Yep, there they are. We'll probably see elite archers, crossbowmen, and those are going to be painful. And soon the culverin will be out, cannons will come out, and there'll just be no stopping them. Because yeah, these old landmarks of mine are just getting burned down. I mean, yes, finally, there's the transition to archers and arbaletriers, much more full transition. And finally, CC's putting the final nail in the coffin for this French opponent, but it's just too late. He's starting to lose his own town centers. His own now CC is really starting to understand, like, yeah, now you have to deal with all these units, and duking it out with these battering rams isn't going to do it. I'm glad my Springald was there to knock out the mangonel. But yep, now we need maybe some spearmen. We're just not seeing it. An exciting game, just one that went really long, and one team just had a much more Imperial Age ready civilization. Well played by our opponents, and CC did a really good job harassing, keeping these Royal Knights inside of the French opponent's base. But I really would have loved to see some barracks, something to actually take on the horsemen, the various units that were coming from the opposite. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the match. Catch you next time.